pimps, power, and pretty ladies. This is Blax History Month, a 28-day celebration of black exploitation films. How do you like your coffee? I like mine black, no sugar, no cream, and with a little bit of kick to it. The movie Coffy stars Pam Grier, and although this wasn't her first movie, obviously because I showed her when I talked about Cool Breeze, this was her first lead acting role and the movie that made her a household name. I know a lot of people probably assumed that it was Foxy Brown that made her famous, and although it has the same director, Coffy came first. Up until this point, most of the blaxploitation films starred mostly men in leading roles, with women being relegated to prostitutes or halfway mute props that the male actors addressed every now and then. You know, when they need sex or something, or maybe something to eat. Writer and director Jack Hill decided that it was probably time to change the formula up, and created a no-nonsense, street-smart female action star who wasn't afraid to get her hands dirty and didn't need any man's help to take care of business. The character's full name is Flower Child Coffin. Doesn't that just roll off the tongue? No wonder they shortened it to Coffy. Coffy is a nurse by trade, but when she's not doing that, she's on a revenge mission because her sister became addicted to heroin and she's determined to single-handedly get the drugs and crime off the streets. They showed the sister briefly, and I wish they said how old she was because she looks like she's around 10 years old. As a matter of fact, all the kids in this place look that age. I know it's supposed to be a juvenile center, but how are these kids getting access to heroin? Also, she just lays there and says nothing. She's addicted to heroin, not comatose. The movie set out to establish Coffy as confident in everything she does, and it succeeds in doing that. The way she handles guns and uses makeshift weapons to fight, they make sure to not make her come across like she's too, quote, girly to do all the same stuff that men do in movies. In contrast to that, the men in the movie are mostly made out to be pretty incompetent and too driven by their need for sex to be effective in doing anything. Nothing really wrong with that because it's only fair that the men be treated as silly as the women were in other movies around this time. One egregiously incompetent character in the movie is a guy called King George. He has to rank up there as one of the worst pimps of all time. He does have a cool ass theme song though. George. And just in case you couldn't figure out what he does for a living, aside from that, he has zero control over his women. They basically run the whole operation, and compared to other black exploitation pimps, he's way too nice to them.
What the hell's going on around here? It's like a goddamn pajama party.
The masculinity definitely took a back seat in this movie. The movie is a little rough around the edges because it rushed out quickly in 19 days to beat another movie to the theaters. And it's amazing it came out the way it did, to be honest. There's times when Pam Grier is supposed to be doing an accent, but then suddenly loses it in another scene.
So I'll come straight to the point as I like to do.
Just an accident. Accidents will happen.
Black exploitation veteran Sid Haig is also in it using a terrible fake accent.
Look at this. This is no Saturday night special. This is professional equipment.
Pam Grier did an interview once where she talked about the fact that it wasn't supposed to be a lot of bare breast in the movie, but she had a wardrobe malfunction one day during filming and her nipples began to show. Instead of stopping, she just kept going with the shot, and since then, it's become part of her identity. And boy, did the director really just go with it. Titties in this movie just seem to pop out for no reason at all, especially during the big hooker fight.
This will kill you.
Look at that. Watch her go.
Speaking of the hooker fight, it involves my favorite unintentional funny moment of the movie. Look at this scene when the hooker attempts to attack Coffy. It's clearly a stuntman in drag, but you can't even be mad at it. For me, it's just one of those things that makes blaxploitation films great. The way they desperately try to work around small budgets. Coffy isn't Pam Grier's best movie, but it's highly entertaining throughout. She's the perfect mix of power and vulnerability. She uses her sex appeal to get what she wants, but that's balanced out with clever intellect and street savvy. Check it out, you won't be disappointed. Just sit back, relax, and have a nice cup of coffee.